But some of us, we get in our own ways and sabotage good relationships because we are unwilling to compromise our behavior. And our behavior has been destructive. Our behavior is not perfect. Our behavior has gotten in the way of other relationships in the past. And we keep allowing us with the guise of, this is just who I am. No, it's not. There may be certain variables of you that are you. And I would hope that the person that you've chosen in your life respects and honors that about you. But there are areas for growth for everybody. And the best way to maintain long-term relationships is remaining flexible. Remaining flexible. Remaining open. What's up, family? It's your girl, Samantha Lee, and I am here for another segment of I've Got Something to Say. And I've chosen a video that's kind of near and dear to my heart because I think this is one of the videos I've done, one of the first ones I actually did on this platform that went viral. And so I'm a little bit proud of it and whatnot. And I just wanted to, I remember doing and filming this content. There was so much more I wanted to say outside of the 1 minute that I had to make a short. And so I'm excited to do this video. I hope you guys bear with me all the way to the end because all of these variables are important. But it's called 4 Ways to Lose a Good Man and How You Can Avoid It. I don't know if y'all remember that. Some of y'all might have followed me because of that video. And like I said, I'm extremely proud of it. I'm really excited for the opportunity to expound on it today. Before I get into that video, I want to go ahead and ask you guys to hit the subscribe button. It's free, you guys, and it's one of the fastest growing nations on the YouTube space. Game changer nation, baby. We've been moving, we've been growing, and we've been growing higher and higher, onward and upward. And I don't want you guys to miss the opportunity to grow with us. There's going to be so many different exciting things that come. I mean, I'm just trusting God for it. I believe it. I know opportunities are heading this way, and I don't want you to miss being a part of the first year of this thing's growing. I mean, I started trying to grow this platform December 1st of 2022. Hasn't been a year yet, so I want you guys to be a part of this journey with me. I would really appreciate it. And hit that notification bell. I posted content almost daily, and I don't want you to miss a thing. I'm also going live twice a week, and I don't want you to miss that either. It's our ability or our unique ability to connect with each other and have important conversations and have a good time while doing it. Okay? So anyway, let's get into it. All right, let's bring it to the stage. 4 ways women lose a good man and how you can avoid it. Pay attention. Let's get into it, ladies. Men, correct me if I'm wrong. Taking them for granted. A man been so good to you for so long, you no longer see the value in them. Y'all, this is a big one. This is a big one. I actually saw a video. I saw a content the other day. I actually posted on it a couple days ago. Where there was women that I was watching on some of the reality shows that I watch, okay? And they were trying to, I guess, advocate for themselves in some way. They wanted something from their spouses. And the way that they communicated to me, like the thing that I'm thinking of at the top of my head was guilting this man into eventually hitting him with the okie doke, which was that she wanted a car. And so she's like, well, you do this and you do this. And what do you spend your money on? And you're not really paying. You're not doing this. You're not doing. And then at the end of it all, like at the end of like trying to like drag him through the mud as to what he's spending his money on and interrogating him about their spending versus the other spending, she eventually comes to the point that she's like, but I want a car. It's like, why you don't have to do all this to ask for a car. But she tried to utilize guilt. And in her coming down on him for what he was spending his money on and what he wasn't contributing versus what she was contributing, he felt unappreciated. That was one of the things he said. And I think a lot of women, we're not direct in our communication. We want certain things, and instead of just saying, I want this, we go and try to find ways to make it make sense and justify our reasoning and rationale for why we deserve X, Y, and the Z. And that reasoning and rationale is tearing another person down. Okay. And sometimes, like I said, there's men that they do things. We all want to feel appreciated. We all want to feel desired. And I think a lot of women expect, I'm guilty of this. I'm saying this from experience, y'all. This is not me because I'm just perfect. I've always been perfect in relationships. Absolutely not. This is me messing up. This is me not appreciating people in my life and for doing the things that they did out of their own onus, out of their own character. They were doing things, and I didn't let them feel appreciated. I just kind of kept going along and not really reading the room and understanding that they needed to feel appreciated by me. They needed to feel the gratitude. And that's just not romantic relationships. That's in all relationships, where sometimes somebody does things for you and they go out of their way for you, and you at some point you don't necessarily like thank them the same way. You don't acknowledge them the same way. And they deserve acknowledgement more so than the person that you may be chasing to get a good relationship with. But meanwhile, on the ranch, you've got this person that's been loyal, that's been down, that's always had your back, and you're not necessarily giving them that same type of energy. Okay, so that's just people need to feel appreciated. And men in your life need to feel appreciated for the things that they contribute. You may want other things. Let's be clear. We all want something. We all want things that we may not be getting in our relationships. No one's going to come with 100% of everything that you want. But focusing and hitting them over the head over the 20% that you're not getting is not going to bring about the results that you're looking for. Instead, that man is going to feel unappreciated and therefore shut down. He's looking to you, if he's your spouse or he's the person, your partner in life. If that person is looking to you and is providing for you, and all you're coming up with is unsupportive things to say, where he feels unappreciated, he's going to shut down from you. And that's not what you want, because most women want their men to open up to them and feel safe with them and have that kind of be able to have a healthy dialogue with them. They don't want their man to just completely shut down towards them. But that is what you will inadvertently do because of this behavior right here. Let's get into number 2. The value in how they treat you. Not communicating well or effectively. Woo! We just talked about this. Women going around the bend through the woods to communicate how they feel. Yes, y'all, we are the ones that communicate, but we are not communicating well. I'm seeing it all over TV. I see it on social media. I see it in my day-to-day interactions with women. We are not communicating well. We are not being direct. And if we're not being direct, we're not being effective. There is a way to say things, and I'm not negating that. There are wise ways to communicate, when to communicate. It's a dance, absolutely. But the way that we are communicating today is not effective. Not all of us. Okay, now I'm saying not everybody has missed the boat, right? There are people that have it down. But there's a lot of us that are lost in the woods trying to figure out how to connect with another person and speak to them respectfully. And so if we are not being direct about what we need, if we're not being direct about how we feel, if we're not respecting another person's feelings, we're not creating a safe space for them. I've had women that come to me about, oh, my man don't want to talk to me. He's rushing off the phone with me, this, that, and the third. I don't understand why you want to. I'm like, okay, but when you communicate with him, what are you talking about? Are you fun to talk to? Would you want to talk to you? Would you want to talk to you? If you got on the phone with you What kind of experience would that be? Be honest with yourself. Are you fun? Or are you on the phone telling him what he needs to get done or what happened at work? And is it negative energy and you just like unloading on him all the bad stuff that happened that day and who irritated you and who said what to who? Is that what you're having a conversation about? Because that's really a conversation for your homegirls. Unless your husband wants to talk about that. I mean, there are husbands that want to hear about, all aspects of your day, even that, which is amazing. But really, I wouldn't, if we are both having bad days, I'm gonna try my best to call my therapist or call my homegirl who can have that type of dialogue with me without them feeling like, okay, I don't want to do that. I do not want to hear what your boss said to your homegirl or who disrespected who or who's low-key hating on who. Like, I don't want to hear that. And that's okay. But being able to have like fun conversations. Are we sending each other reels like that are like funny that we see, or TikTok videos that we think are funny? Are we having do we have a friendship? Or am I get on the phone and I'm just telling you what you're not doing and reminding you of your inadequacies when you might be when a man might be at a job already feeling like the world's on his back and he's trying to carry it all. And you get on the phone and tell him more areas in which he is inadequate or more places where he does need to do more work. How's that going to make a man want to talk to you? So you have to think about how you're communicating with people. They don't just because they're with you have to deal with your bad behavior. Period. People don't have to deal with you. They don't have to, oh, we together, we married, he need to be. No, he don't. No, he doesn't actually. No. Maybe you need to work on improving. Maybe you need to take an honest look at yourself and really try to figure out how to become a better partner versus focusing on his inadequacies and how he could be better for you without you doing any work to do the same for him. Like expecting men to read our minds and getting mad when they can't. Being dismissive about how you make him feel or being overly defensive. Ooh, Jesus, be a fence girl. Sam went in. Sam went ham on that one, didn't she? Okay, so yes, being dismissive. So when somebody says, I feel like you're not really understanding, or I feel like you're not, you're nagging, or I feel like you're, whatever a man may be saying to you, do you go, whatever, you're just being insecure. You're in your feelings right now. Let me wait until you're out of your feelings. Like, are you being dismissive about his complaints, but he's supposed to take yours seriously? Or are you being, well, I may do that, but what about you? You ain't perfect. You be over here. That is not an effective way to communicate with anybody. How is somebody supposed to take criticism from you when you can't take criticism? Either you're dismissive of it or you can't take it enough to where you're deciding to go back and forth doing this tit for tat thing, which breaks relationships, single-handedly damages relationships and relationship dynamics. How about just sitting there and holding that for a second? You're not really the most understanding woman that I've been with. I mean, I really need you to be more understanding. Ugh. Well, what can I do to make you feel more understood? How can I improve? How can I meet you where you are? What am I doing to show you that I'm not understanding? And what would you prefer? What kind of behavior would you prefer from me? Y'all, some of y'all men will fall out on the floor if you responded in that way. How can I meet you where you're at? How can I meet that need for you? Instead of me being defensive or dismissive of your needs, how can I meet it for you? What would you need for me to do? How can I do that for you? Again, sometimes we get so lost in trying to defend our ego, our pride, that we don't open ourselves up to, okay, I know I'm not perfect. I can own that. So if I know and I'm acknowledging that I'm an imperfect being, that means that there's areas where I can improve. And if I'm married to this person, they deserve my best effort to improve. That's men and women. They deserve my best effort, my best effort. Okay. And so, and again, y'all, this isn't coming from a place of higher than thou or I've got it all down. No, this has come from years of work that I've had to do on myself in areas that I'm still growing in, and I'm just being honest with y'all about it. Because I truly believe we don't go through things in our lives and we don't learn lessons in our life just for ourselves. We learn these things and we help other people learn it. That's how you grow. That's how you elevate. That's how you evolve. Okay. And so, anyway, that's the point. Let's keep going. Response to how he feels. Basically, not liking being held accountable for your actions, how you've made that man feel. Last but not least, being selfish and unwilling to compromise. Y'all, this is a killer in a lot of relationships, okay? Not being, oh, this is who I am. I mean, this is how he married me. This is who I am. I've always been this way. I'm not going to stop being myself for nobody. Okay. We'll see how far that takes you. We've already acknowledged that we're imperfect, right? We've already said that we do things and there's areas that we can grow in, right? So if I've already acknowledged that I'm not perfect, then why would I be unwilling to meet somebody's need? Unless it's compromising my morality, right? I'm not asking you to compromise your morality, or I'm not advocating for anybody to stay in a relationship that has abuse. Any type of abuse is a no-go for me. Okay, I am not advocating for that. Let's be very clear. But if someone's asking you outside of your standards of treatment, which is not being abused, and if some women, it may be no cheating, right? That might be their deal breaker as well. So outside of those two deal breakers that you may have, it's just tailoring your responses or trying to be more romantic or trying to be more sexy or trying to do other things that may be what he's looking for. Would that hurt you to do better in that area? If he's asking for you to listen a little bit more, if he's asking for you to be open to the idea of him spending more time with his friends on football Sundays or something, or maybe he wants time alone on football Sundays. He wants Sundays to himself. Being open and compromising to meeting somebody else's needs. That's how relationships work. And a lot of us in our society as a whole, we struggle with hearing areas of growth and places where we can get better in. Like we struggle with that. We think it's like a personal attack on self. All of us got areas we can grow in. No pride, no ego. Take it out the door, y'all. Look, pride is literally destroying our relationships single-handedly because we are unable to hold constructive criticism. And sometimes criticism isn't coming constructively. But like I said in the past in other videos, I can take the meat and spit out the bones. That might take me being able to talk to a friend that's advocating for marriage, that's advocating for the person that I'm with, and saying, hey, listen, he said it this way. And that person can be a voice of reason, like, he didn't mean that. He's tripping right now. He's got to cool him down, but he means this and this and this. Being able to really reason in a very logical and rational way so that you both are meeting your needs. Because guess what? I'm sure that if you're in a healthy reciprocal relationship and this man is seeing that you're going out of your way to be able to love him better, I am sure that man over time is going to notice that and try to do the same thing for you. But some of us, we get in our own ways and sabotage good relationships because we are unwilling to compromise our behavior. And our behavior has been destructive. Our behavior is not perfect. Our behavior has gotten in the way of other relationships in the past. And we keep allowing us with the guise of, this is just who I am. No, it's not. There may be certain variables of you that are you. And I would hope that the person that you've chosen in your life respects and honors that about you. But there are areas for growth for everybody. And the best way to maintain long-term relationships is remaining flexible, remaining open. and focusing on loving the other person the best way you know how. And if that person loves you the way I believe they do, they're going to give you that energy back. And even if they don't, you keep, because you're conscious. I look at it from a spiritual perspective. I'm loving somebody well, and I'm doing it for my creator. I'm not doing it for their validation. I'm not treating you well for you. You may not have deserved it. You may have hurt me. You may have done things wrong to me, whatever that may be. I'm going to do right by you because my God is watching me, because I'm holding myself accountable to my creator. I'm going to love you the best way I know how. I want God to know that I made this covenant and I did my best in doing it. I want my God to know. That matters to me, because my life on this earth is but a blip. Just a blink in the eye of the generations and generations that have come and will come. But the impact that I make on a specific human being for the sake of my creator, which I believe is eternal, that matters to me more. Pleasing him matters to me more. Some of us are so focused on the validation of others and wanting that applause. And that's what keeps us stagnant in our relationships. That's what keeps us from growing. Or there's deep down insecurities, wounds that we're dealing with and we're expecting other people to deal with, but you're doing no work to deal with them on your own. So you want me to deal with something that you don't want to deal with. You want me to figure out how to not step on a trigger, rather than you working on those triggers. Ladies, we got to be going in therapy. We got to be doing real work instead of just sitting there and talking. How are we applying? How does the work that I'm doing with the therapist manifesting and showing up in my life? I talked to a friend of mine, Stefan Speaks, and he talked about how, yes, more women are attending therapy, but they're not necessarily getting healing. They're just kind of learning how to distract and cope. Coping-ish. Whereas when men attend, because it's rarer for men to attend, they tend to try to apply. They're solution oriented. Some men, we're not going to say all men. Some men are solution focused. When they get into therapy and they committed themselves to a process, they're going to try to implement what they're learning into their day-to-day lives. Whereas women, we're not quite that simple, right? We kind of do a little dance. We be dancing around it. But again, if we want the good men in our lives to stay, or the good men in our lives, the good men that are going to be in our lives to stay, we have to first really look at the different things that have kept us or held us back in relationships in the past. There's a lesson that we can learn from every relationship we've ever been in. Whether you were at fault or whether the other person was at fault, there is a part that each one of us plays. And in order for us to grow, in order for us to have the relationships that we desire in our lives, we have to do the work. We have to take accountability. We have to sit in that seat. We have to take a hard look at ourselves and be like, am I pleasant to talk to? Am I defensive? Do I create a safe space for the person that I'm with? When they share something with me and it's an emotional moment and it's deep, do I throw that thing right back up in an argument when I'm mad at him? So now he feels like he can't even share with me these personal things because he knows it's going to be, artillery and ammunition for the next argument that we have. Am I directing my communication, or when I'm asking for something that I need, I have to somehow justify it with what he's not doing for me? Am I indirect in the way I communicate? Am I believing that he can read my mind? That he is a certified mind reader. And so when he doesn't do what I thought that I wanted him to do, that I never communicated to him, am I just as mad at him as if it was a communicated expectation? Let's take accountability, ladies. Let's sit in that seat. It's clear that a lot of what we've been doing hasn't been working. So let's do the work. Let's grow. Let's be more than just pretty. Let's be good partners and helpmates. And so when that man is in your life, whether he's there now or is coming, oh, he ain't ever gonna let go. Like, I got me a Proverbs 31. I ain't never letting go. She's praiseworthy. I'm gonna sing from the mountaintops that I got the one. At least that's what I want my man to say. Shoot. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right, family. Well, you know, I got 3 thoughts for you. I'm gonna leave them with this. Love God. Chase purpose. Love people. Love you, family. And I'll see you guys soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Let's not just be every once in a while. Let's become family, okay? Friends that are family. Okay, join my family today.